All right, this is junior golfer Marco. This is a quick video, or as quick as I could make it, of video showing how much improvement can be made in a junior golfer's swing. Different junior golfers start from different points that have better swings, worse swings, better hand-eye coordination, worse hand-eye coordination, less body movement, more body movement. But this is young golfer Marco. Marco is a great kid. I really enjoy working with Marco. Very polite, very respectful. Please, no, thank you, yes sir, no sir. I really enjoy working with Marco. But one of the things is you can see we've got a lot of, what looks to be kind of baseball influences here. We got a lot of lower body movement here. We got this, letting go of the club with one hand. Now Marco's come a long way in a very short period of time. So we can see this. What happens is when the golfer is pushing with the right hand. So this is how Marco is, and a lot of golfers try to close the club face. They try to push this club face closed with this right hand. And what happens is this left wrist goes into extension. This right wrist starts going into flexion. The right hand is basically pushing, and the golfer is what's called flipping at the golf ball. That can be a kind of a big flip or small flips. But when the right hand is pushing, tries to close this club face by throwing the club head at the ball, the hands pass the club head very quickly, and instead of traveling down and hitting ball and ground, this club head passes the hands and now starts traveling up. And when the club head is traveling up through impact, we either miss by hitting the top or middle part of the golf ball, or the golfer then bends his knees to try to make contact, and then the golfer hits ground then ball. And so we can see, we're going to put a marker right on Marco's head. When these knees start bending to try to get down to the golf ball because the right hand's pushing the club head closed and the club head comes up through impact, well, when the golfer tries to come down to the golf ball so as not to swing over the top of the golf ball, now we've got the whole swing coming down. So you see his head comes down a good 4 or 5 inches, and that's what makes the golfer hit behind the golf ball a lot of times. So the first thing we need to do is correct his setup. So a good setup here is actually this setup. Looks great. Feet are about 12 to 14 inches in between the two ankles. Golf ball's in the center of the stance. This left hand is more on top. This right hand's more underneath. We've got a little bit of forward shaft lean at setup, and the hands are over the inside or middle of the left thigh here. So you can see quite a bit of the back of this left hand. This is a great setup. So we needed to bring Marco's feet a little bit closer together, which we actually did. So, this is a great setup to emulate. This is a good shot of Marco's setup. So here's how we have Marco afterwards. So we got him set up. Now this is a kind of a sand wedge here. So we got his feet a little bit closer than normal, but we want about 12 to 14 inches in between the two ankles. You can see now we have this left hand on top where before it was kind of on the side, and we've got the right hand more underneath instead of this right hand over on top. So before we would have, now it doesn't matter which golfer you take. We need to have, when the golfer's coming through impact, we need to have the hands leading the club through impact. In order to hit ball then ground, we need these hands ahead of the ball at impact. So that way the club head is still traveling down and can hit ball then ground. Additionally, we need this head staying still through impact, and we need the body turning around the head basically. So you can see when Marco's coming through, this club head is passing the hands. And so here are the hands back here. Here's a club head here. The club head is passing the hands, and it's starting to come up, and it's swinging over the top of the golf ball. And that's why Marco's having to dip his knees to try to get down to the golf ball. That doesn't matter whether it's Ernie Els or Tiger Woods or who it is. The hands have to lead the club head through impact. So you can see the hands are here, club head's here. This club head is still traveling down to hit ball then ground. And that's what we need to get with Marco, is making sure that the hands are working correctly, so that way the club head is traveling down through impact instead of traveling up through impact. So a good example of this, Tony Finau is a very good at having forward shaft lean at impact. And we can see Tony Finau, we have this hands ahead of the ball at impact so the club can hit ball then ground instead of swinging over the top of the ball. Here are the knees dipping. This right hand is pushing. That brings the club head in. And then now that we're hitting the ground in the ball, but this ball is going shooting out to the right and not making good contact. Okay, so that's what we need in letting go of the club with one hand. So you can see, kind of the difference of what we need. We need this head staying still, hitting ball then ground. Okay, so now we take Marco, we get his new setup here. So now we've got him set up to where, okay, so we're starting with a sand wedge. We've got the feet, we need about another couple inches here, but we need 12 to 14 inches in between the two ankles. We got the ball in the dead center of his stance. Hands are over the inside of his left thigh. We've got this, let's see if we can kind of compare him to from before to after. We've got these hands over the inside or middle of the left thigh. We got the left hand on top. We got right hand underneath. Makes it a lot easier to close the club face. Here's Marco's old swing, and you can see as he comes through, that's his old swing. Here's Marco's new swing. We're going to take a few of them here. We're going to take a look at a sand wedge, and then as he comes through impact, now Marco's hands are leading the club head through impact. Now Marco can hit ball then ground consistently. Now, for those of you know a little bit more advanced understanding, you can see the flexion in his left wrist, the extension in his right wrist as he comes through impact. So Marco's losing his flip through impact. So that's kind of one of the first things that you have to do is get rid of that flip. Then we make that, then we work that into longer swings. So now we're going to take a look and we're going to work this technique into a little bit longer swings, and we'll compare his before to after. So here he is hitting a little 8-iron. So good transition from backswing to downswing. And then now the hands are leading the club head through impact. We've got the feet a lot more quiet through impact. So not as much of this crazy body turn here, much more fundamentally sound. And now we can, there he is. So now we're working that into a little bit longer club. And now we're going to take this all the way into driver. Okay, so now we're going to take his swing into a driver. We've got him set up about 12 to 14 inches in between the feet, left hand on top, right hand underneath. We get him set up moving through the correct positions, backswing to downswing. And then as he's able to, as in transition, he's able to swing from in to out. And now as Marco's swinging through, now he's making much better contact. And you can see a big full finish here. That's because of the way we set him up for into the backswing in the transition. Now this club face is closing as he's accelerating his hands through impact. Now he's able to extend instead of here he is from before, here he is after. Huge improvement with Marco from before to after in just a short amount of time with the correct instruction. Great work. Thanks, Marco, for all your work. And hopefully this gives you an idea of how much improvement can be made with just the right instruction with junior players.